I don't know. Yes, we had a question. Yes, sorry. Again, this is what Nerd HQ is about. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
The biggest thing that I admire about you is your faith.
Thanks.
And your just your love for Jesus. And
sure.
So I was curious if you've ever shared, or if you could share, how you met Jesus and how you started your relationship with him.
Well, I mean, I grew up in a Christian home adjacent, a Christian-ish home. My mom and dad were both believers, but we got divorced early on in my life, and both continue to be believers, but very different believers. And I grew up with my mom, and she had a particular spirituality about her. My dad had a particular spirituality about him. I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, whatever your faith is, even within the same faith, we all have very different kind of relationships with what that faith is. And so I grew up in and around it, and I was aware of it, and I learned a lot about it. But it wasn't until I was about 18 where I really kind of made a decision as an adult and as an individual, and I said, I don't want to just believe something because my parents believe it. And I think it's important that we all do that, regardless of whether it's spirituality or politics or whatever. We have to know why we believe what we believe. And I think one of the major problems with the world right now is that people just believe shit because somebody told them to believe it. And that's scary. That is really, really scary. That's why, I mean, I not to get into politics, and I'm not going to go down this road, but good Lord, we've all joked about for so long, I'm voting for the lesser of two evils. I have no idea. Like, this is incarnate right now, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know what the hell is going on right now. Anybody who loves Hillary, obviously that's totally your prerogative. Anybody who loves Trump, that's your prerogative. I'm not judging you for that. I'm basing them both on the things that I've heard them say, their track records and all that stuff. I'm terrified. I personally am terrified. There's that libertarian dude. I don't even know that much about him, but I'm going to go look it up. I don't want anybody telling me, well, this is who this is. I want to know who that dude is. I still believe that the United States of America is the greatest country in the world. I really do believe that. And I think that part of the reason why is because not only do we have the freedoms, but we have a system that's set up where we can go and truly vet these people. And by the way, and all these things that are going on just in life right now, the things that are most powerful to me, like watching Black Lives Matter protests and cops coming together and having these picnics and all these things, like, that's power. That's beautiful. That's something that I go, God, if we could do more of that, if we could be people that are on two sides of an aisle of whatever the issue is and go, how do we see each other? How do we love each other? Anyway, rabbit trailing a little bit. But the point is, so then when I was 18, and I was like, I don't want to just believe this because my parents do. That's nonsense to me. And so I just started diving into it for myself and questioning a whole bunch of things. By the way, for example, like I don't call Jesus Jesus. I call him Yeshua. Like that's, people go, why do you call him Yeshua? And I go, well, because if you look in the Bible, his name was actually kind of Joshua, and then through various translations, it ended up becoming Jesus. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't call him Jesus. He still knows who you're talking to if you're talking to Jesus. But to me, I was like, well, wait a minute, I know this. I've studied enough to know that his name isn't actually Jesus, that it's more or less Yeshua. I want to call him that. So when I pray, that's what I call him. There's a whole bunch of other things that I believe about Christianity that I'm sure a lot of mainstream Christians would be like, you what? And I go, yeah, that's what I believe. But at the end of the day, to boil it all down, I really do believe that, I believe that once upon a time we had this really incredible, like, treasure map. In fact, there's a lot of really incredible treasure map, like spiritual, religious treasure maps that basically were like, turn left here, turn right here, go down here, move over here, do this, do that, and then eventually you get to be with God or meet God or whatever. But one of the things I think is so amazing about specifically the spirituality of the relationship in a Christian format or with Yeshua is that I always liken the closest thing I can liken it to is like the compass that Jack Sparrow had in Pirates of the Caribbean. But instead of it pointing to where his desires were, that Yeshua is the compass that points to where his desires are. You might instead of having the map and all the things are going to go, it's like you're playing Pokemon Go. You're like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, no, there's some rustling leaves right there. Like, you're doing I just compared Jesus to Pokemon Go. That's fantastic. First time it's ever happened. Maybe, I don't know. So, and to me, that's what faith is. That's what trust is. I really believe that God is good and he loves us and he wants us to trust him or her or it or whatever you want to call that, but I really do believe it's about a relationship, and I believe that, and there's so much, amazing love that's involved in that. So that's where ultimately I came to. And by the way, and it's an ongoing thing too. It's a journey. It's a relationship. I am such a fuck up in so many ways. I fail all the time, and thank God he loves me, and thank God he still picks me up. And I not gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Great question. Next question. Hat in the back.